Saitama is physically at the peak of superhuman condition, and as such, his strength, speed, durability, flexibility, athleticism, agility, dexterity and physiology are immeasurably upgraded by his godlike power. Physical abilities. Immeasurable strength. Saitama possesses an immeasurable amount of strength and as a result is capable of destroying powerful monsters and villains with a single one punch, though this strength is not limited to punches. Until now, the exact raw power of this strength remains unknown, since Saitama most of the time only uses a small percent of his power to destroy enemies, and weird are those occasions where Saitama needs more try to defeat enemies. It is shown that the level of power of this strength is so big, that the shockwave from his punches is enough to completely destroy a mountain and smash buildings and other structures where he lands on. It is shown that Saitama can control this force but still tends to exaggerate and cause a lot of destruction, but luckily he is never killing any innocent in the process. The destruction level of Saitama's strength has been confirmed as multiplanetary at its minimum, so it is mighty possible he has a lot yet to show. In Human Leap, Saitama's inability to fly is somewhat compensated by his immense leg strength, allowing him to leap tremendous heights and distances at high speeds with no known limit. This can be seen when Saitama smashed his head through the ceiling of a gymnasium during the hero tryouts simply by jumping. He was also able to smash a building into its foundation just by leaping off from its roof. His greatest feat in this regard, however, was when he jumped from the surface of the moon and ended up back on Earth at a specified point, leaving a crater on the moon's surface in the process. Saitama is also able to jump in the air. Murata even stated once that if Saitama hadn't struck the moon after Boros threw him out of Earth, he could have jumped from the empty void of the space to return instead. Shockwaves. As shown in his training with Genos, Saitama is able to hold his strength and make the shockwave that comes from his punches very destructive. He can also concentrate and focus on the objective he wants to hit with his power, as he was able to destroy a mountain behind Genos but leave Genos completely unscratched. Immeasurable speed. Not only is he insanely strong, but he's also terrifyingly fast. He is shown to effortlessly surpass Sonic in speed. No matter how hard the latter trains to improve his speed, Saitama always remains the fastest. An impressive feat of his speed is leaving afterimages behind him due to how fast he is running. This allows him to create speedy clones. Even Genos was fooled by one of them during their spar and had problems to find him even with his sensors at full capacity. After Sonic shows up and challenges him again, he uses his speed to create 10 clones of himself, which impresses Fubuki, who states that this is a S-rank technique. Saitama, stoic, uses his serious mode to do the same but creating tons of copies of himself, which alone shocks and beats Sonic easily. He's shown able to move any part of his person at amazing speeds and easily dodge attacks that travel even faster than light with absolutely no effort. Afterimages. Saitama is so fast that he leaves afterimages when moving at high speeds, and is agile enough to dodge Beast King's Lion Slash, Meteor Shower while moving in for the kill. After assaulting Saitama with a flurry of punches in his practice fight, Genos realized that he was only fighting his afterimages. Immeasurable dexterity. Saitama is capable of moving any of his limbs at extremely fast speeds without even flinching, not stopping until his target is completely obliterated. This is seen when Saitama flawlessly whacks all moles on a whack-a-mole machine and destroys it during the Hero Association exam. Immeasurable agility. Saitama is seen able to make high acrobatic and agile maneuvers, possessing great athleticism, being even more agile than Genos. He couples his unmatched agility with his unmatched speed and flexibility, which allows him to dodge, counter and catch attacks even from enemies faster than light with incredible ease. Immeasurable reflexes and senses. He effortlessly sees attacks beyond light speed and can hear, see, and smell much more than normal humans ever could. Nevertheless, Saitama's senses seem to not have the same degree of resolution as some of Genos' sensors. He is still able to pick up on chatter from various bystanders while fighting. He is also able to see in the dark, as he was able to spot a kid a great distance away during the night. he can concentrate on a fast-moving object for a long time and still not lose sight of it, as seen when he was the only person to see Garou escaping. He seems to have developed a sixth sense, being able to avoid danger without even noticing it. Because of this, he is able to dodge or defend himself against enemies without even realizing he's been attacked. Immeasurable flexibility. Even though he has no stretching powers, Saitama is extraordinarily flexible as a result of his training. He can pass through even the most narrow places and display highly flexible moves during combat. Immense stamina. Saitama has never been shown to get tired when fighting villains. Even when unleashing a punch more powerful than a planet-destroying attack, Saitama showed no signs of fatigue. The only time in which Saitama was shown to be panting and out of breath, he recovered just seconds later. However, he did show signs of fatigue on his dream fight with the Subterranean, so it's highly possible he still can get tired when fighting a real challenge. Pain suppression. Even before becoming powerful, Saitama was still able to suppress pain during battle. Invulnerability. Nothing has ever been close to harm him in any possible way. Not even attacks confirmed to be multiplanetary like Boros's final attack are a danger to him. During his training with Genos, when the cyborg almost manages to burn him with one of his attacks, Saitama was more concerned about his costume getting burned than his own safety, which proves he was never in danger to being with. Hilariously, despite his invulnerability, he was hurt by a cat he rescued and scared by accident, though he does not exhibit real signs of pain afterward. Psychic immunity. He is shown to be immune to psychic attacks, even from extremely powerful psychics like Fubuki, Tatsumaki, and Jiryugenship, who created an atmosphere with the gravity of a black hole to suck and kill him. Saitama didn't even blink. Enhanced lung capacity. Although Saitama cannot breathe in space, he has considerable control over his breath. Even in outer space, Saitama manages to hold his breath effortlessly, and he even made a jump back to the Earth to the Moon in seconds without showing any signs of suffocation or symptoms. It also takes some time for Saitama to realize he is in a vacuum environment, although it seemed to have little to no effect on him. Vacuum adaptation. Saitama's body has been shown to survive the effects of a vacuum unscathed. Several factors like a lack of atmosphere are at play here, although Saitama has not been affected by any of them. Temperature immunity. Saitama has shown to be practically immune to all types of temperature-based attacks. In fact, he appears to be immune to temperature energy in general. When Genos created a huge, spherical blast of flame to kill Mosquito Girl's mosquitoes, Saitama remained standing right next to him totally unharmed and unperturbed, though his clothes were destroyed. Also, after Boros, in his fully powered state, punched Saitama to the moon, Saitama, unharmed in the process, jumped back to Earth in just seconds, and upon atmospheric re-entry, his clothes started to burn, but he remained unscathed. Skills. Master hand-to-hand combat. Although Saitama had never received formal training, he is a very proficient and experienced combat. Due to his boredom, Saitama usually doesn't care about finesse or style and makes use of attacks poor executed and flawed. However, once serious, Saitama becomes an incredible skilled and powerful fighter, swiftly combining his incredible physical abilities in order to overwhelm his opponents. Saitama's attacks and methods are quite basic, but solid and efficient. Saitama has been shown able to overwhelm in physical combat highly skilled and powerful enemies with little effort even when holding back. During his dream fight against the Subterraneans, Saitama could keep up with and even overwhelm them with little effort despite being equally powerful and all of them attacking at the same time. Even before becoming powerful, Saitama managed to defeat many criminals and monsters just with his bare hands alone, and could easily counter and read Boros's attacks and overwhelm the alien emperor while holding back his power, despite the latter having far more combat experience than him. His skill in fighting is best shown in his battle against Garou, where he easily overpowers him in a straight matchup despite the latter's years of training and experience in combat and martial arts, forcing the evil martial artist to use his fighting analysis to find a way to defeat him. Due to his experience, he is more skilled in hand-to-hand combat and using his powers in battle than Genos. He uses improvised fighting techniques to grapple and take down his opponents and is an extremely dangerous fighter in close combat, having full mastery of his superhuman abilities. Saitama also does occasionally make use of karate chops and grappling moves to disable his enemies. Adaptive fighter. While Saitama usually relies on raw power to beat his enemies, he is also shown to be a smart and adept fighter able to use strategy when requiring it, such as when he killed his first monster with skillful use of his tai despite being just a normal human without powers at the time, and when he managed to make Geru unable to predict his moves through tactical use of his speed, agility, and the environment before knocking him off with a punch. Indomitable will. Saitama has been shown to possess incredible willpower. It is more evident in the flashback to his hero training regime. Even if he was in great pain, or could barely move, or vomited blood, he continued his training. Through sheer willpower and effort, he removed his natural limiter. Inspiring/wisdom. Saitama has proven to be very wise and inspiring to some people. He berated Fubuki for believing that being a hero is only about being in the highest rank and tells her that all individuals who step forward the danger to defend the helpless, even if they fail, are heroes. He also lectured Genos about what being a real hero is about. It is not about fame or popularity, but fighting for the good in other people. This eventually leads to Genos becoming a more heroic and caring individual, forgetting his thirst for vengeance. People whom have met him, like Suiryu and Glasses, have become inspired by his words and strength and are determined to become great heroes by themselves just like he did. Intimidation. While Saitama doesn't look particularly scary, he is able to produce fear on other people due to his immeasurable power. Special mention goes for Sonic who, after trying, and failing, to attack Saitama with his sword while he was looking toward crimes to stop, Saitama passively but aggressively told him to get lost or he would punch him, leaving Sonic in fear just by sensing the seriousness of his words and glare. Ajuro Kabuto fled away in fear just before attacking him after sensing his powers, and according to him his senses told him he was in danger for being close to Saitama. During his spar with Genos, after the latter told him to get serious in the training and that the battle would only finish when one of them couldn't fight anymore, Saitama decided to use one of his serious punches, stopping just before hitting Genos' face. Genos believed to have felt a death sense when Saitama almost punched him. This is the only instance in the whole series where Genos shows fear to someone. Tracking skills. Saitama is shown to possess exceptionally high tracking skills, mostly due to his superhuman senses. He proved this when he was able to catch Ground Dragon while the monster was digging across the ground at incredible speed in order to escape from him, apparently with little issue. Techniques. Despite his lack of supernatural powers, Saitama possesses a vast amount of techniques in which he uses his superhuman condition in multiple ways, having great variety and mastery of his abilities. Normal series. Saitama's normal series consists of techniques in which he puts little to no effort into attacking. Even though his attacks are flawed and wasted, Geru even called him an amateur for such poor style. Most opponents tend to be finished off easily due to Saitama's extreme strength and speed. Consecutive normal punches. Saitama launches a volley of quick, single-handed punches from his right hand. These blows have been shown to be powerful enough to blow strong or large body types apart into pieces. Depending on the power of the attack, this technique can occur in an instant. Two-handed consecutive normal punches. Saitama launches a volley of quick punches from both hands instead of one. Serious series. Saitama's serious series consists of techniques in which he puts effort into attacking. While he normally punches without putting in much effort, when Saitama gets serious in a fight, his techniques become tremendously powerful. Serious punch. Saitama throws an extremely powerful punch. The full extent of this attack is unknown, as it never directly hit an opponent. It was so powerful that it completely negates Boros's collapsing star-roaring cannon, a beam capable of wiping out an entire planet. The shockwave alone from the punch was powerful enough to part clouds on a global scale, as well as deliver the final fatal blow to Boros. The dying Boros then also declared that Saitama's fatal attack on him was not even anywhere near Saitama's true power, and that Saitama wasn't even trying. Serious side hops. Saitama hops from side to side rapidly. Doing so allows him to create a multitude of afterimages. He has been shown to be able to walk forward while doing so, and the shockwave caused by it was enough to break Sonic's 10 Shadows barrier. Serious table flip. Saitama digs his fingers into the ground and flips a large amount of landmass thousands of meters into the air. He first used this technique against Geru, to which the effect was so great that Geru's sense of gravity was severely warped as a result. Serious headbutt. Saitama headbutts his target. He uses this to counter a punch from Geru, destroying the latter's arm.